Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's lesson. Our lesson for today is on articles. We are going to look at article writing, the types of articles, and we are also going to have an example of one of the types of article we are going to discuss today. So pay attention and make sure that you watch until the end so that by the end of the day, you'll be able to write beautiful pieces of articles. I understand that most of the learners are always worried when it comes to this topic. It feels like you are talking about a dangerous animal that is about to attack you or something. Anyway, an article is a piece of writing written to a large audience. What is an audience? Tell me, I'm talking to you. You, yes. All right, anyway, an audience is a group of people or is a person listening to you. Like right now, as I am talking, you are my audience because you are listening at what I'm saying. So an article is written to a large number of audience. An article can also be defined as a piece of writing written with the purpose of reaching a lot of people. But how? With the assistance of the press. With the assistance of the press. What is a press? A press include the newspapers, the magazines, the TV, the radios, any media that can assist in distributing your article. That is why today we are going to look at the two types of articles that you need to know because they may come in your examination. At your level, as a learner, you need to know the two types of articles. An article to the school magazine and an article to the local newspaper. For a school magazine, you can, for instance, be requested to write to motivate the learners or to give encouragement on the importance of education. So you write an article to a school magazine on the importance of education. Now it's up to you to listen further so that you understand the format and how you write this kind of article. For the local article or for the article to the local newspaper, there might be an issue happening in your area that you want to bring to the attention of your people or of the people in your community. So you can be requested to write an article to the local newspaper. So please, let us quickly look at the format on how to structure or the style that is required for us to write beautiful articles. For every writing, you have to pay attention to the format because the format is what tells the marker or the reader what you are writing about. Same applies to you. You are called Joanna or John so that people identify you. I am Abiatal. When you see me, you know that I'm Abiatal. So when you write your article and it looks like a report or it looks like a speech or it looks like a letter, then you are creating a problem because you are confusing everybody who is going to look at your work. So let us pay attention to the format in everything that we write. Now we are looking at the format of an. Your article should include a title or a heading or a topic. It must be short, neatly written, and you may choose to underline it. Some people choose to write it in capital letters so that they don't underline. If you do not underline it, you will not be penalized, but it has to be there. After your title, we move on to the byline. By now, everyone must be understanding what a byline is. A byline is just the name of the writer. This is also where some people choose to use pseudonyms or fake names. They pretend to be someone else, or they just use fake names for the sake of protecting themselves. Maybe the writer is talking about a burning issue. She doesn't want to be known that she's the one who wrote this article. She may choose to use a different name. That is why sometimes you find funny names in the articles. A byline by Sponono. But I'm Abiatal and I'm calling myself Sponono. Maybe for some reasons. After the byline, you go to the introduction. In your introduction, this is where you bring out your concern. What exactly do you want to write about? Here you make sure that your thesis statement is clear. You want to ask me what a thesis statement is again? Despite having clarified on it in many other lessons. Anyway, a thesis statement is just that statement which clarifies what your introduction or what your article is going to be about. Are you supporting that idea, or are you interested? Are you so concerned? It depends with the topic, but a thesis statement should be clear. In an argumentative essay, I said you give your stance. In an article, it's slightly the same because you are bringing out your point of view on the topic that you are discussing. You are going to see this in the example that you are going to have. After the introduction, we move on to the main part of our article, which is the body. Your body should be at least or round about 3 paragraphs. Why? Because this is where you are going to bring out your main points. Your main points should be crafted in paragraphs. Each paragraph should have a different idea. In most cases, you are provided with what we call prompts or guides. If you are given prompts, then it's wiser to attend to those prompts in its own each in its own paragraph. Prompt 1 should stand on its own, prompt 2 should stand on its own, and prompt 3 should stand on its own. This helps you to avoid confusion, and it gives you strength, and you will be so straight to the point. If you write just mixing your prompts, you are likely to confuse yourself, and you may end up writing a little on one prompt and more on the other. When you put your prompt in a paragraph of its own each, you are likely to attend to your prompts in a correct way with enough information. So my advice is always that write a paragraph per each prompt. Okay, that is if you are given prompts or guides. If you are not given, then craft your topic sentences, your main ideas, so that each of your paragraph doesn't collide or repeat what is said in the previous one, but each of your paragraph should have its own topic sentence and the supporting sentences. When you are done with your body, now you move on to the conclusion. In the conclusion, you summarize. Briefly means in short. You summarize the main points. This is just the part to show that you are ending. Sometimes your conclusion can be included in the last prompt or in your last paragraph, but it's wiser just to have a conclusion on its own. 2 or 3 lines are enough. So from here, we are going to look at an example of an article. Follow me. Let us look at this example of an article. The question may come saying, the government has decided to follow a one-child policy. Write an article to the local newspaper whereby you include how you feel about the policy, the policy's impacts on the economy, the policy's impact on the economy, and the effects or the policy's effects on human rights. Those are the 3 prompts that you need to attend to. You are so lucky because you are already given what to write about. The topic for this article is one child policy? No. Can you look at the topic? As a reader, I can already tell that this individual is not happy with the policy. Then by D. Malunga. That is what? A byline following a topic. So far we are adhering to the rules and we are following the format of an article so well. We are going to our introduction. And the rules say that in your introduction, you should give a clear thesis statement. You should make the reader understand what you really believe. But don't forget that our first prompt, which is how you feel about the policy, can as well be just the introduction. So this writer is saying, as a true African, I feel offended that our government could even have considered the idea of a one-child policy. We are Africans and our race is our pride. We believe in having large families. It is our heritage and it's our culture. So this introduction is telling you that this writer is totally against the one-child policy. So the government should just change this already. That was the introduction, and at the same time it answered how this writer feels about the policy. Can't we clap hands for him or her? Hey, this writer is good. That was prompt 1, and at the same time our introduction. We are moving on to prompt. Prompt 2 is asking about the impacts this policy has on the economy. Yeah, it's a bit challenging, but you need to find your dictionary and find out what impacts are or what an impact is. So this writer is saying, for generations, we survived economically, despite the prophets of doom who continuously predict hunger and overpopulation if we do not curb the size of our families. Large families tend to take care of each other, of the elderly, and many work the fields, or many till the fields. So he is not thinking that this policy will maybe save us from economy depression. Prompt 3 is on the policy's effects on human rights. By the way, do you understand what human rights are? What are your human rights as an individual? Okay, let's see what this writer is saying concerning the effects of this policy on human rights. He's saying, a one-child policy will take away our human right to decide how big or small we want our families to be. Many women will feel dictated to and will in all likelihood take drastic measures should they find themselves in the predicament of falling pregnant a second time. Here, the morality of a decision taken can be questioned. So you see, now the government is approving or has decided on a one-child policy. But now as women, if I fall pregnant for the second time, what will happen? It means I may end up terminating the pregnancy, which is not good at all. Abortion may be good to some, but to the likes, including myself, is not good. In conclusion, this writer just said, no, I stand firm that to follow a one-child policy will strip us of our culture and dignity. Allow individual parents to decide on the number of children they can afford. Isn't this a beautiful piece of writing? Lastly, the good news is that we are going to have a mass revision. Massive, huge, large revision. I know you have been revising on your own here and there, but it's wiser to be tested by a professional person. In this case, I'm the professional person because I'm a professional teacher. Got you? All right, so pay attention to the date. Check on our pages everywhere. Have yourself a good day and keep practicing. We'll see you during the revision. Bye bye.